Hello, welcome to What the Fuck Do We Do Now? Yeah, another podcast, right? That's what we all need. I know a million people have them. I'm friends with a few people that have them, and it's hard to make any headway in the space. And I'm going to try and do things a little bit different. I'm into a lot of, alternative media and all that type of stuff. And really, what spawned me to do this was thinking, what the fuck do we do now? For the last couple of years, I've been thinking about moving out, into the country, having a place where I can grow tons of food, have some livestock, chickens, goats, cows, you name it, to be a lot more self-sufficient. Right now, trying to figure out where the best place to do that is. I've got a friend that lives in California on a mountain who's been gracious enough, and thank you, both of you, for saying that, I could come out there, maybe buy some land next to them. Great resource. So hopefully I'll have them on the show at some point to show you what they're doing and how they're living and hopefully going to thrive. Well, they're thriving already, but once what comes down the pike, some sort of collapse, things are only going to get worse. I think most of us know that, whether you're a conspiracy person or not, or into the alternative media and don't watch the TV and buy all the lies. Everybody knows something's not right and it's not getting any better. And really, I just want everybody to be as prepared for that as they can be, to find a way. Not saying that I have all the answers, I certainly don't. That's another part of why I want to do this show, is to help get some answers, some ideas from other people of what they're doing, how they're preparing, maybe share ideas. I'm also in some groups of people that want to start communities and grow together, which I think is a fantastic idea and probably the best way to do it, if you can find a group of people that all want to cooperate, which is obviously the most difficult part, right? You're always going to have personalities that want to be in charge, they want to be the leader. It's a very tough situation, but can anybody really survive? Does anybody have all the tools to succeed on their own outside? You know, once things go bad, say if you get out of the city, which is really my main concern right now, is I'm not directly in a major metropolitan area, but I'm in a suburb. If things go bad here and there's a grid down situation, or, cyber attack on the water supply, it's going to be chaos. And even getting out of where I'm at, it's going to be very difficult. You know, I've, I've thought about trying to build community with my neighbors and making plans, but even, and I've got great neighbors in my cul-de-sac. Everybody's friendly. A lot of them are Second Amendment people. We're all armed. So I'm grateful to have those people here and think we'd have a chance of fending off people, but for really how long? I mean, things are going to turn into like a martial law situation or whatever. Um, we saw what happened last summer, and this summer it's predicted to be probably worse. Um, eh, I don't doubt that at all. With all the defund the police and everything going on, I mean, it could get very ugly in a lot of places. And supply chain shortages. We saw the cyber attack on the gas pipeline, and whether it was a legitimate attack or not can be debated. I've heard some people say that there's no way they would have ran out of fuel. People that work in the industry, they wouldn't have ran out of supply that quick during the attack. So I mean, there's all sorts of fuckery going on that, if you look beyond what the TV is telling you and do some of your own research, you're going to find that things are, you know, it all doesn't add up. And they keep putting out stories about possible, the grid, the electrical infrastructure is so vulnerable. They've been saying that for 10 years. And is that predictive programming? Are they trying to set you up to be prepared for this mentally, like you're expecting it? I think there's some of that going on, and I don't think enough people are prepared. For one, am not. I have a little bit of solar generator backup. I've got a gas powered generator, but the grid goes down. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get gas. Um, so, what is the best situation in your opinion? Um, I'd like to get other people to chime in and say, give your ideas of what you're doing, what you're planning, if anything. Hopefully people are, at least getting a water supply, food supply, uh, you know, trying to be as self-sufficient as possible, because I think we need to get back to that. There's a reason they got us into the cities back in the 20s or whenever off of agriculture, and everybody dependent on the system. You know, I can remember my grandparents probably knew how to do a lot more than I can, which is very little, to be honest with you. I mean, I can grow food. I've got a couple chickens. Um, I can hunt and fish if I need to. I'm not going to be able to do that in the city. Obviously, I've got to be able to get out of here. But um, there's just a ton of stuff to consider. And this being the first episode, and I'm not good at speaking generally into a camera. Like I get shy. But anyway, that'll change once I get some guests on, obviously, because I know some great people that are going to be great resources here. But anyway, so I've been thinking, what are the best options right now? Housing market's on fire right now. I could sell my place, make a decent amount of cash, move to another state, um, where I could get some land and set up a mini homestead, be as self-sufficient as possible. And again, at that same time, get to know my neighbors there and build community and friendships and support system, where we can obviously go back into Agora, barter, working together where we can, and hopefully support, being support where someone is deficient. Maybe we have a skill that we can help them, kind of how things used to be 100, 200, 300 years ago. And there's still some of it going on in different places, but that's one option. Another one is, I thought about this last year after the lockdowns. I bought not a new truck, a used truck, but a bigger truck so I could buy a travel trailer. That's one option. Get out of the city and at least, you know, buy a chunk of land somewhere, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 acres, whatever. Living in a travel trailer is not going to be convenient or what I'm used to, but, at least I'd have land to work with and be away from all the chaos. Um, and the third option is, Derek Bros, freedom cells, finding your freedom cell network within your city, wherever that may be, and, building relationships there, again, helping one another. I love that idea. I think it's great. I just don't think enough people are on board yet. And I don't want to be in the city, when that happens. But that may be a case, maybe something I'm stuck with, because I'm also in a situation, I'm a small business owner, and, I don't have a ton of employees. I've only got like 7 employees. A couple of them are family, other are long time. I mean, they're friends. I care about these people. I don't want to just close the business and abandon them. So trying to figure out a way to transition there, maybe sell it to one of them on a payment plan or whatever, um, which would help me get started when I set up a mini homestead. I'd have someone, a small monthly income that I knew I was going to get while I'm setting up other sources of income, um, which is part of the dependence thing again, right? As my friend Ben will tell you, who lives off grid already, the key to all of this is cutting out your expenses. I mean, that's part of the dependence, right? I mean, you've got a car payment, you've got your mortgage, you've got cable, electric, water, um, you know, all these things that you can really minimize so you don't need to grind and make, a ton of money every month. But you still, especially when you're starting out, you're going to need to buy groceries. You're not going to be able to do it all right off the bat. You know, there's a lot to consider there. So anyway, kind of lost my train of thought um, there, and I'll probably end it here. The videos are probably going to be pretty short all the time anyway, but I just wanted to start this one because right now I'm at that crossroads where, okay, I think the best option is to sell this place, get out of the city, and you know, buy a small existing home with even an acre or two. It doesn't need to be 40 acres. That'd be great. I'd love it, but the main thing is to have enough room to grow a substantial amount of food, raise chickens for both meat and just for eggs, and breed and sell the chickens. You know, get out of the city is the main thing. Just be somewhere, I don't want to be an hour and a half away from a major metropolitan area. But if I'm an hour, 45 minutes from a smaller metropolitan area that still has some of the, trauma care, that's one thing I'm concerned with. I don't, again, back to the support system. Are you going to have, I know some herbal medicine and stuff like that, but trauma care, if something happens, I mean, I'm screwed. You've got to be somewhat near some of that, or at least I do. Um, so all things to consider when you're talking about setting up a network. Um, and right now, I own the house with my brother. We're fighting about where to go. He only wants to go where weed is legal, and I'm not opposed to that. I'm down with that. But and then that has great gun laws. Another thing I'm big into. Um, but one of the only places that fits his bill is here in Colorado, where we are now, which is it's turning into California. It's getting way too expensive to live here. My mortgages went up $700 a month in the last 4 years, and that's all due to taxes. So it's just not sustainable anymore. I mean, I'm in somewhat in a comfort zone because my business does well, you know, so I could ride it out longer if need be and have that travel trailer set aside. And if things really go south, hope I can get out. I'm just not sure that's the answer. But if somebody has an idea along that line, I'd love to hear it. Anyway, like I said, I'll wrap it up for now. Um, but my question to all of you and to myself is, what the fuck do we do now?